Welcome, family. It is the next rising. It was really 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But by the way, I just finished my smoothie. I had a smoothie, but I'm eating my mango while we chat. But as you guys can tell by the title, we are finna talk about love, sex, and procreating consciously, which I feel really needs to be discussed, really needs to be talked about. First off, before we can attract a divine union, a partner, a soulmate, whatever you shall, a twin flame, whatever the freak, you must really have an inner union with oneself. You must really fall in love with oneself, fall in love with creation, and fall in love with life. You must fall in love with breathing. You must fall in love with fruit. There's so much pleasure within this experience. And as you know, by the way, I will be eating throughout, our discussion because I love my fruit. But there's so much pleasure within creation. There's so much love to seek from within. There's so much air to breathe. There's so much presence to take in. And, we chase for this love that we desire to fulfill in our external reality, and we run away from ourselves. Constantly on this search, this search for validation, external validation. We got social media. You have all of these sources of external voids to chase after, and you never feel fulfilled within yourself because you're overstimulated, and you can never pour into anything outside of yourself if you aren't pouring into yourself, if you aren't checking in with yourself daily, if you're not just sitting in silence and breathing and, writing and chatting with God and essentially with yourself, because you are an extension of source, creation. But I really want to talk about procreating consciously. It's this song called Romance by Willow Smith. And when I tell you she's just on the nail, she hits the nail. It's like sex is an act of divine love, and that divine love essentially comes from within yourself, and you attract this unique embodiment of love. And it's like love is all over. Love is these trees waving at me. Love is it's the greenery. Love is life. And when you fall in love with life, love is attracted in abundance. And so it's a lot to falling in love with yourself. You essentially have to detach from everything that is. Well, let me rewind. You have to detach from this identity that you have within yourself. And while I was walking back to the house, I was, talking to myself, and I'm like, I'm really okay with being alone. I'm okay with being by oneself, which I'm never alone because there's life always there's life around me, and when you see the life around you, it's like you never feel alone because you can always come back home. You're always home, It's not even coming back home. You're always home. Like, you know, as you know, we must share our energy consciously, intentionally. I feel like a lot of times, people, our soul's purpose is to procreate and create. And so, of course, we must have babies. We must procreate. But a lot of our reflections fall victim to irresponsibly having kids, and you essentially you fall victim to sabotaging your lineage. You sabotage your lineage, and I feel like things happen as they should. Why is there so many fucking cars on this road? Like, any other time, like, these cars wouldn't be on this fucking road. This video might be all over the place, but you know what? Let me finish this mango, so I can chat with y'all with a clear mind, because it's pleasure coming from this fruit. Alright. I have a clear mind now. First, we finna dive into some things. First, the trick is, society feeds you this idea of this romantic, fantasized way that love should go about. You have these Disney princess movies, and I think I've talked about this before, but they sell us this idea, this romanticized idea of what love is like, and fall into someone's arms, or and you have this Prince Charming, and you have this princess, and we can give one ideology, Cinderella, and you have these insecure women, so jealous of this woman who is just so beautiful, and you have this mesmerizing, princess. And this Prince Charming is trying to find the right one, the right foot to slip inside of this shoe, to fit this shoe. And then it's just like, it's so like, that's one idea that we were fed of, bitter women, and this Prince Charming, and these women wanting to, fit this glamorized standard of how a woman should present herself to this Prince Charming. And it essentially takes away from all aspects of women. You know, there's so many aspects to love, to acknowledge, you know. I feel like, and also love should never be something chased after. It's something attracted, and it's something essentially found within oneself. And once you love yourself, you attract love in all aspects of life, in all aspects of yourself. You love all aspects of yourself, and you fall in love with self-acceptance, acceptance of all of yourself, and you detach from resentment, you detach from lust, you detach from shame. All of these things that we drown ourselves in and distort our whole perception of oneself. And so you can never attract love when you run away from yourself. Let's talk about lust. I was just talking to myself earlier about lust and why men can never attract. For one, men chase, and it has been shown that he has to chase after this woman, and he has to essentially just give all that he doesn't have within himself. And you know, he vibrates in his root chakra. Just detached from oneself, can never express all of himself because he run away from self-acceptance. Can never really be himself authentically because all of the standards of how a man should carry himself are just resentful, and it's surrounded around self-hatred and self-deprecation, and he can never express himself or be soft, or he's just not a man. And it's truly self-conflicting, truly. Also vibrating in this lustful nature, very dogmatic, to where it's like you don't even see the value in women. You don't see the abundance within women. Women should be honored, you know, like women should really be honored, but you really must honor oneself, because you are the exact mirror reflection of a woman. You are literally a woman inside out, just without a uterus, without a womb. And truly, when you come back home to nature, you see the value, you see the true essence within woman. And you can be this provider. And there's so many aspects to provide. Just showing up, being present, acknowledging acknowledging women, you know, feeling, touching, eye contact. Just the true acknowledgement of a woman, you're providing life to the equation. I know it's kind of hard for a lot of men, especially vibrating in this hyper masculinity, this hyper masculinity. It's truly hard to be empathetic. It's truly hard to feel when you never allowed yourself the opportunity to feel. When you've never allowed yourself the opportunity to be vulnerable, to just let down all of these walls that you have created for yourself, all of these walls that society has really projected onto you. Also, speaking from a man's perspective, because I am a man, a lot of women put men under the pressure of being themselves. Show up like, it's okay to be soft, it's okay to cry, it's okay to do this. And once a man let his guard down, once he shows himself, he's then ridiculed, he's then criticized, because they feel as though this isn't a man. Like, this is not man. Like, who is this? Like, when you see the true essence of a man embodying all of himself, showing up in all of himself, he still gets judged. But you're truly not living for anyone else. You're living for yourself. And when you have the energy, when you're actually pouring into oneself, you have the energy to pour into others and be yourself authentically, without truly caring about upholding an identity, upholding this persona, and trying to fight to maintain this ego that you're carrying. And this is truly a mask that you have over your face, and you can never show yourself, because society has projected all of its insecurities onto you, all of its narratives onto you. I'm talking to my brother the other day, and it's like, what society has done, it creates this mass separation. And what you do is you separate everyone, and you truly take away oneness, because you have these classifications, you have these set agendas, you have these morals, and coming from all of these different backgrounds where diversity isn't truly common. And society is truly wrapped around survival mode, where you live in a state of fear of just really, you live in a state of fear of oneself. Because when you truly are connected to the Most High, and you have a solid set relationship with yourself and the universe, you can truly connect to anyone. And this is truly coming from self-experience, where it's like, I can be home anywhere I'm at, I can feel free anywhere I'm at. I'm walking earlier. Well, no, I'm running, but I stopped at the store to use the restroom. This guy, he tells me, like, where's your shirt at? He's coming at me real aggressive. He was like, where your shirt at? No. Just talking. I'm like, I'm working out. I didn't really give him the reaction he wanted, but I'm like, yeah, I'm working out, because I truly feel free wherever I'm at. Like, I can take my shirt off. I really just don't care, because I'm not living for anybody else. I'm living for myself, and I feel at home anywhere I'm at. I can detach and let go, because I'm not trying to fight to keep this identity, uphold this public persona. And it's like, when you're constantly in this state of pleasing everybody, in this state of conforming to an environment that you really don't feel safe in. I'm not speaking for myself, but I'm speaking for just generally. A lot of the times we try to fit ourselves in environments where we're not accepted in. We try to please others when we're not even pleased within ourselves. We try to overextend our energy when we don't have the energy to give or extend to others. And the solution to that is truly existing for yourself, and just being truly 100% honest with oneself. And I've come to terms with not saying my true raw reactions to things, when it comes from a state of pure consciousness where I'm consciously aware of what I want and how I'm going to present myself to others and the truth that I express to others. I no longer hold this shame within feeling like I'm being harsh or feeling like I'm coming off aggressive, when the majority of the times I speak from a place of truth. And when you carry yourself in your authenticity, you never feel shameful for voicing your truth or trying to shrink yourself down to please the masses. Truly embody your most heightened form without shame, resentment, guilt. And society tries to guilt trip you into thinking that you can't be yourself, into thinking that you can't be vulnerable. I'm speaking to men. Into thinking that you can't be soft, into thinking that you can't cry, into thinking that you can't ask for help. True self-sovereignty is loving all of oneself and knowing that you are guided and protected wherever you are, and knowing that home is right here, and knowing that you can scream and shout without fear of being seen. You can truly do cartwheels in the middle of the road without fear of being seen, without fear of being judged. And so this hypermasculinity takes men away from embodying its divine feminine essence. I know we all over the place right now, but I really want to go back to lust. When you're lusting, you can't create from a pure state. And lust comes in many forms. Eating, excessive eating, and it's, you store all of this energy within your gut, and it creates obesity. Lusting, chasing this sexual void, this sexual, just hyperly sexualized. And my last video, I talked about how the world is very much so hyperly sexualized, and it comes from a state of insecurity, vibrating in this root chakra. And when you're lusting, you can never create. You can never make raw, authentic expressions of art. You can never procreate from a state of love, divine union, where you're making love and you're creating intentionally to spread generational wealth. Wanting attention, trying to protect your ego, always trying to fight. And when you're in a state of survival mode, you feel like you lack in aspects of oneself. I wrote down something, but my notes were deleted because I ran out of storage. But I remember what I wrote down. Sometimes our thoughts crowd what we don't want. Meaning, you're chasing after money and you feel like you don't want to be. You're chasing after money, but your thoughts are affirming to you that you don't want. You think that you're broke in aspects of yourself, so you chase after money. I really wish I could tell y'all my notes because it had everything in it. I was trying to figure out what the heck that was brushing up against my thigh. But basically what I'm saying is we operate in a state of lack. And we feel like we're missing out. We feel like we're just truly lacking in all aspects of yourself. Chasing after love, you don't love yourself, so it's revealing insecurities within yourself. Chasing after money, you feel like Money should never be chased after. It should be attracted, because you know that money will come and money will go, and it's a temporary currency. And so when you're intentional with where you put your energy towards, the energy and currency will flow towards you, regardless of whether you feel like you don't have anything, regardless of whether you feel like you're broke and you're financially unstable. Things will come, things will go. And what I've learned is that everything, all that is temporary. And so what are you lacking? What are you really lacking? I feel like that true currency, that true energy comes from within. And when you're right within, there's literally homeless people. You know, society, as we know, is very objective, and you know how you look, you're subject to how you look. And so society projects how you look and kind of creates this identity wrapped around how you look and how you present yourself. And when you create your own narratives, it's like self-explanatory. Create your own narratives. But like I was saying, homeless people out on the streets, they're living their lives. They're just no worries, no doubts, like truly living for themselves. And it's like they have home, they have homes, they have family, and they're content. Like homeless people be content. Homeless people just be living life, and it's like, what are they missing out on? Like they get to wake up to the world and go wherever life takes them. I feel like we're never really homeless, you know. We're on this earthly realm, and home is all over. Like home is everywhere. Like I can literally go out the country and find a home, like find family, like attract family, you know. So yeah, inner union, to attract divine union, you must really truly have this inner union within oneself. And my neck is kind of, I got, not neck, but my shoulder, I'm kind of tense. I gotta stretch, because I didn't stretch yet. But yeah, man, I love you all. Peace. I'm watching my girl Couture, you know what I'm saying? I'm also over here cooking. I made me some guac. Let me tell y'all what I put in here. Some onions, tomatoes, cumin. I was eating some of these. I was eating some of these Thai chili pickles, but I put some of the juice in them. And I tell you that jump buzz, but I use date sugar, some sage, some paprika, some onion powder. Yeah, we got the seasonings. Some cumin, and I use my pink Himalayan sea salt. And I also put some onion powder in it. Here, I got me some squash zucchini. I'm about to chop me some onions in there. It's got peppers at the bottom. These are so freaking good. Just waiting on my squash and zucchini to get finished. Today's been really chill though. Just came back from walking my dog. He did so good. I'm so proud of him. He did so good. And this one dog was in the yard just going crazy, and I'm like, Like, chill out. Cause I'm like, okay, I'm walking my dog, got my music playing, speaker banging my sounds or whatever. I'm just vibing, present. Next thing you know, this dog coming and barking. Mind you, the owner playing with the dog.
So handsome. Oh my gosh.
My dog wanna stop barking and shit. Look at this view though.
The name of a country.
Yeah, this is a water fair. Like hair sign.
I'm ready to eat.
I'm at the airport. End of the vlog that if you will enjoy this trip that I have coming up this summer, I'm going to do more questions that aren't answered in that highlight or
Y'all, look at this life. Like, life. I decided to eat outside. Just to give like a different vibe, you know. I just really want to just eat outside and be present. Like, the flavor bomb in this, I decided to put jalapenos in it. This junk spicy when I tell you. But we got us some guac, onions, lemon. I put some lemon juice over this. And there's also lemon juice in my guacamole, along with these chili pickles. Squash zucchini, man, this is so good. Yeah. It is, I'm eating around 8:10. I can't even really see it. 8:10. And man, it's really just peaceful outside right now. It's peaceful in nature.